All right, Trinidad and Tobago, my guest is in studio. So remember, go on our Facebook Live page now, and you'll see who is my guest in studio. And I'm not going to open this mic until you go on Facebook and you see who's my guest in studio.
It's minority because you're feeling hurt. The truth you pervert.
So join me on Facebook now. Street 919 FM. The Street 919. Go on Facebook now. You'll see who is my guest. But I'm not opening up the phone lines, or I'm not opening up his mic until you join me on Facebook. So you need to join me on Facebook quick. Just remember, he doesn't have, you have a lot of work to do, and he gave me a commitment. He's a man to his word, and he's in the studio. So join me quickly. That's what we're talking about. So join me now on Facebook, the Street 919 FM, and you're going to see who I have in studio.
The people are so dumb, get accustomed and chosen.
Let me see how quick we can do this. Send up the numbers quickly.
The voice of the people is still the voice of God. The people made their choice. Respect God's voice.
I'm seeing the numbers going up, and that's what we're talking about. And I want to first of all say to Trinidad and Tobago, when a man can keep his word and he hasn't yet even walked in the corridors of office, it says something about that man's integrity. And if you're looking at me on Facebook and you're seeing who I have in studio, and I want you to share the live, look, people are giving you applause and things, Yeah. I ain't opening your mic yet. They had to go on Facebook first and see who it is. And you had to share the live and spread the word around. And tell people, you understand, that this young man is in the studios of the Street 919 FM. You understand? I ain't selling out no more.
She is now an excuser. She said the dropping oil affected yet free. What about your boys who plunder the whole treasury?
So you see, they're welcoming you to the Street 919 FM. Real love you again, eh? A lot of love you again, my brother.
Custom St. Joseph.
Spread the word. Look at welcome.
Brandy Totoko.
Imagine when I open up this mic, what will happen?
The voice of the people.
And this is how important social media is. If you see, we were having a discussion before you came in the studio of if social media is going to play an important role in this election. And look at how now there are some people who don't have access to social media, so they don't know who I have in studio. But there are people who are logging onto Facebook and they are seeing who I have in studio and they are excited about it. So you see how you're missing out, people who know into social media?
Use the trumpet. Now that you lose you quickly.
Let's see how quick we can go up to 200.
I don't like to call nobody hip-hop.
Let's see how quick you can go up to more than 200.
The same words you use, you turn and abuse. Cause as you lost the match, you become a sore loser.
Somebody said, I knew it was Jason Williams. Because I asked them this morning who they thought it would have been.
Of course you will win the election. No money like money like the lie in your possession.
So here what I will do, I have opened up his mic and I'm going to let him tell you to join the live. I feel that is how people will really believe who I have in studio. So the live is open, his mic is open, so you can see your hellos, your good morning, your good afternoons, and tell you people how much you appreciate their joining us on the street.
Greetings to the Street 91.9 FM, of course, Pastor Google, all the listeners from home and abroad. It is a true honor to be here. You know, it's a building I've always made my way in terms of going to the production studio upstairs to record. Over the years, of course, Georgie would come in and I'll touch base. But funny enough, this is the very first time I'm on air.
Really?
Here at 91.9. It's unbelievable, huh?
What was the nice thing about it is that when you walked into the studios and you saw the studio, you were like, hey, I didn't know that you all were so advanced, man.
Yeah, I mean, I would have seen, it's for years I've been coming in studio. And a matter of fact, I came here, I wonder if I came to, I'm trying to recall if I came to release a song at some point in time. Mm-hmm. So let me just retract that. I'm trying to figure out if I probably in that capacity. Mm-hmm. But it's not at the forefront of my mind right now.
Yeah.
For some reason, this is to me the official first time opening the mic.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, we give thanks, and it's in a different capacity.
That's what we're talking about. And it's a pleasure to have you.
Pleasure to be here.
919 FM. And you are here because you have now officially make your life an open book.
Yeah, it's been an open book for quite a while, but I think the book now, it's spread open all chapters, and it's how I navigate myself will determine what goes into that book.
So tell me why you choose to open this chapter of your book at this point of your life, because I think if we look at each other we can be around the same age.
Yeah.
But why would you choose to open this chapter of your life? Because it would have been private for years, in the sense of you would people who have listened to you on radio for the length of time that you're still on radio and your years on radio, you have never made. Because we have had this debate in this building up to recent. And I was saying that I've never heard JW made his political affiliations known. And why now?
Because I have the energy. I have the back still, it full up.
Right.
The back full and ready.
Right.
It's better now. To me, I think it's better to do it when you're young, you're vibrant, and you have that drive as opposed to a bit older. I mean, no disrespect to anybody who gets into it at a mature age. Everybody will know their particular journey, their particular purpose, their particular mindset. It's a situation too where folks who would have listened to me for the years understood I would always use the microphone, yes, to entertain and to inform, but also I would bring up certain issues, social issues. Those who had keen ears would have probably been able to figure it out, but it was never something I put out publicly.
Yeah.
The call came, and I decided to answer the call. I didn't go looking. The call came. My name was mentioned in corridors and in rooms I've never entered. And when you get that kind of call, you sit down in a quiet moment, you analyze yourself, you say, well, this is probably part of a greater narrative, a greater story. Right. And it takes, to me, belly. And I mean physical belly per se, but you got to be brave.
Courage.
And I've courage. Yeah. And that's something I could say that for sure. I mean, courage is definitely one of the things that is a hallmark for me. When I look at my life, look at my career, look at the choices I would have made, look at how I would have gone sometimes into the unknown, and I was able to navigate and find my way.
Finally, right.
Yeah.
Right. Who is Jason W? Who's JW? What if you were to in one sentence describe yourself to Trinidad and Tobago, what would you say to them?
Humble, man of the people, a countryman to my heart. That's where I feel most at peace and really happy in nature.
Yeah.
I love of nature.
Well, we saw that recently with some people following you for unnecessary.
Yeah,
that's all right.
Yeah, but my goodness. And that was a skitter, by the way, too. So, my goodness. When I see that jump out, I say, well, my gosh, welcome to politics, boy.
Yes. And we will get into that in a little bit. We'll get into that in a few. But I wanted people to feel comfortable knowing who JW. They would have seen you as a radio personality.
Yeah.
They would have heard you. They would have heard you as a radio personality. They would have seen you as an artist. Not much people know your family. If you are a family man.
Yeah, my father.
Right.
Father of one.
And most people don't know the intimate parts of you at the aspect of why would he choose? Okay, so he said why he choose to come into politics now, but you're a man who relatively your life is comfortable, but why would you want to put it on center stage, as some people would say, you know? And you are now looked upon as a young man who has thrown your hat in the ring of politics, and this is now a new stage for you, where radio was a stage, entertainment was a stage. As you said, you're a family man, but this is a new stage.
I think everything I did in the past, kind of led up to
this,
because if you notice, and I was telling somebody, the constituents last night, we had a real nice Zoom meeting with the beautiful folks there from Roseman Drive in San Juan with the core team. Big up to the team, campaign team, really nice team there. I'm working with Barataria, San Juan, of course, Quasi, Jody, Kimberly, Davlin, Vanessa, Edison, the whole team. Great people. I was telling them last night that if folks were looking at my career closely over the years, you recognize there was never any controversy. I was always very mindful of how I conducted myself on stage, what I would say, all utterances. I would try to be, above board, never too controversial. I mean, yes, I wind down low carnival time, people get jam and thing. That's part of the mix. But generally, people who would have followed me from Rocker Ages times, 98.9 to now, would know that I was always a conscious youth. Yes, you will make, sometimes a little comment that might stir the pot to create a discussion, but generally, how I conduct myself on air, off air, one of respect, and I think that is why, when I look at it deeply, a call could come from the powers that be to say, hey, this is a man we're looking at. Because I know it was no overnight thing. I'm sure they were observing me for a while, watching, taking notes. And when you get them kind of call, Google, I think it's better you go forward. Go forward. Probably there's part of a different story for you to embrace. And I think it's also a chance for me to really impact, change, and serve. I used to serve via the airwaves with information, entertainment, laughter. Now it's real service on the ground, impacting lives, in real time. In real time.
That's good. That's good. That's really, really commendable, man. Here, what I wanted to find out from you, Jason. As a young man, many times as young men, I don't know if you have ever experienced it, many times as young men, when we are confronted with opposing views, it sometimes either make us stronger, or it may make us, question, if we are making the right decisions, right? This decision that you have made here today, where you have now placed yourself in the public domain, how is it going down with your colleagues, your family members? I'm sure that there may have been persons who would have contacted you and said to you, "You sure you're doing the right thing, my brother? This is now a different aspect of life." How have you been dealing with those negative and positive?
Well, I'll start with the positive first. And it's been plenty. It's been overwhelming. I'm not hearing myself. All
right, we will fix that.
We'll fix that.
Yeah, we'll fix that.
I think, let me say something. A small thing. We go fix that while we're going on. I'll continue. So, the messages, the feedback, it's been tremendous. People I haven't heard from in quite a while. Overseas saying, "J boy, yes, good fit, natural fit, we could see and all that." So I didn't even recognize for quite a while that so many people saw me for more, saw that potential,
Okay.
It's good to see the potential in yourself, yes.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes that encouragement and that drive from family and friends, it's tremendous. And my friends, I must say, they've really been holding me down. My family, people closest to me. Obviously, you will get your sure, Jay.
That's what I wanted to know. That's what I want to know.
Yeah,
because people will be asking.
It's a different kind of game, boy. That game dirty.
Yeah.
You're getting them comments too.
And what have you ever once sat down and said to yourself, yeah, but this thing dirty, and we could bring up the event that happened where you would have been doing a shoot for a particular commercial, and No, this is why I want to find. So you're seeing how nasty the game can be.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts now?
When I saw that, I had to laugh. Yes, I said, nah, boy. In my mind, I'm saying people who, you know, we came out the carnival. After carnival, we went into COVID, and obviously the whole thing changed up. But that was a promotion, and that was a promotion that was actually on my Instagram, a skit that we did to create a little buzz. To go into the main promotion, and obviously there's a second part where you see myself and the same actress, the model, did a kind of me proposing and giving her, you know, a bottle.
Yeah.
So I'm saying to myself, my goodness, and people actually. The funny thing is, there's one thing to post it up. I mean, I understand that is the nature of the game, and anybody could give you a slight tackle, could give you an elbow in the box. They could try to pull your jersey while you're running in for a goal.
Yeah.
But it's to you go on VAR, right? You pull for VAR because that video, and I like to use football analogies. You draw for the VAR. We're showing you that this is a skit. And people still want to go down the road of believing that, yeah, look, this man on the beach lock off like a special, somebody was saying what? Special privilege. I say, my gosh, people like, we need to have eyes to see, man, and ears to hear. We need to be able to have that common sense within ourselves, man.
Yeah.
To analyze, you know, sense from nonsense.
Yeah.
So I actually I laughed about it. It was actually hilarious. I was waiting in my mind. I was saying, let me see what else, because the thing is, as I said, how I position myself over the years, Google, and conducting myself, you know, on stage, off stage, professional, you know, personable, respectful. What they could bring up? It have nothing.
Wow.
And no man is perfect. Everybody will have their imperfections and have their particular issues and would have certain things that, you know, you could have done differently. But generally, I think I've conducted myself above board, man, over the years, man. And I'm saying to myself, you know, let's see what they can find.
What they can find?
Can't find that, man.
I hear you. And that's something that people are worried about with young men like you and myself. Is there skeletons in our closet that would make us, you know, that can make us, can embarrass us.
Yeah.
But when you come back from the break, I want to ask you why you choose to answer the call for this particular political party. If the other party had called you, would you have considered when we come back from the break?
For sure.
All right, Trinidad and Tobago, back with you. We want you to share the live. We want the young people of Trinidad and Tobago to get involved into the discussion today. So we have Mr. JW, Jason Williams, right? The man himself.
Yes, by Google. I know I hear myself again, man. Sorry, the levels was a little bit low there, listeners. But I got to go now, man.
So you know the off-air conversations, as a man on radio, know that off-air conversations has been a little more interesting than the on-air conversations.
Yeah.
And so we were talking about before we went on the break. You're talking about why you choose this particular political party or this train to jump on, especially at this time.
Well, I'm a student of history, and at the end of the day, this is the foundation block that really bring us into who we are as a nation. You know, formed in the 50s, and obviously coming into that particular journey, giving us the independence, and we look at obviously the foundation blocks that were laid that everybody basically benefit from. Everybody, you know, at the end of the day, every particular political party would have a stint that. Yes, people look at the negative and the bashing, but everybody would have, every particular entity that would have governed at some point would have done something for the masses.
Yeah.
And we have to give them their respect. But to me, PNM, that is the foundation block. That is an institution. You know, and when an institution like that calls and they look upon you, you know, you answer the call.
Yeah.
You know, you do. Yeah. For me, I answer the call and put myself on the stage. Some people answer the call and they in the back working to make it happen. So everybody will know their particular role and know their particular capacity and how they want to get involved. So that was part of it for me.
I'm seeing that the incumbent is not going back up. Is it because he's afraid of you?
You'll have to ask incumbent now, man. I can speak on his behalf.
But knowing now that the incumbent isn't going back up, and there might just be somebody else who may just be coming after, coming in to see if they can dethrone you, because people are already thinking and seeing in their mind that they believe that you can do it.
Yeah.
There are people who believe that you can do it, but let's open up the Pandora box. Sour Barataria is most people would say that your struggle will be across from the highway.
Yeah, it's a marginal.
And there are people who live over the highway who might be thinking that what can this young man come and say to us and offer us? You understand? What can he come and offer to us that can make a difference that our past representative hasn't done for us?
So we have to work the constituency, touch base with everybody. Lots of working to do. I've already started. And to me, the good thing about this early part of the campaign is that intimate one-on-one, sometimes one-on-two, sometimes a group of probably for the most 3, because we're trying to follow the guidelines and the protocols.
Yes.
We are listening. We are taking concerns, taking notes, listening to what people want in the area, what they want to see, and what I've recognized. Visibility is something very important to the constituents.
Okay.
Yeah, visibility. The ability to see you. Not just when you're canvassing and once every 5 years.
Right.
Yeah, people want to see you.
So you're gonna put if you win the seat, or once you win the seat, you are gonna put mechanism in place that if it's once a month or twice a month, you are going to walk certain areas or the constituency.
Yeah, people are gonna see me, man. I mean, I live in the constituency, so at the end of the day, it's not like if I'm not wrong, am I wrong?
Right.
People know me, and we put things in place in such a way that I can continue to touch base. Because when I look at the likes of Leon's, Moval Aventil, you look at other representatives, Tunapuna Ford and different people, how I watch how they map the thing and how they touch base. Somebody, a stalwart in the area die, you will see this man show up to a funeral.
Yeah.
That's what MP is supposed to do. MP is really, you are representative of the people in Parliament. And you there to push policy and to talk to the powers that be. You're there to rub a shoulder and talk to the ears of people who could help things done and help to get things done.
Right.
There are other obviously deeper dynamics that, but I'm just talking here from the basic level where that's what people want. People want something sorted out. You build your relationship with your councillors, which I've already done. You build your relationship with your regional corporation, which I've already done. And it's about networking and being able to, let's get so and so done. Certain things on a minor road, people want to sort. I realize people not asking for no big pie in the sky, People asking for just the basics, boy. But what they're asking for really and truly, I realize, I'm hearing it over and over, is visible representation.
Wow. So, and you know what visible representation says to them? Even if this man might be able to give me advice, at least he's seeing what I'm going through. So if at any point in time, he might be able to help me, he will help me.
Yeah, I love people, and people I realize they just sometimes just want a listening ear. I was talking to a young girl when I was doing the walk last week with Councillor Judy. And she broke down, she's going through a little moment. She's a single mother, and her concern wasn't so much because she's working, but her concern is more if she could handle, being a single mom, how the son will look at her, if she got that strength to really nurture him, and I sit down and hold her, and I tell you, I took a number, I called up to this morning just to see how she going. These are things that I realize that sometimes somebody just wants somebody to talk to, just somebody to, to just a shoulder.
And this is where I plug in for Mr. Manning, because I grew up in Mr. Manning's constituency, and that's the kind of representation that Mr. Manning would have given to us as young men who would have grown up without a father. We saw Mr. Manning as our father.
Serious.
Because if you were a tailor,
that's nice.
which I grew up, I was a tailor, sewing, making ties, and my first tie I ever made, Mr. Manning wore it to go to a UN meeting, a brocade tie. And I'm seeing this man on TV with a brocade tie that I sew handmade.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's special.
You think that you could ever get me to go against somebody like that?
Yeah, that's special.
And what you did with that young lady, showing up and sitting and just listening to her, and then just say you show up Christmas or you show up on occasions, just to support her and to let her children know that, hey, there is somebody who is supporting the family. Money can't pay for that, you know.
Yeah, I realize this journey is a journey of people. People must be at the center. You have to love people. Must have patience, and there must be some sense of emotional and conversational intelligence.
Right.
You know, there are people who I meet too. You know, I met a guy was irate. Hey, thing. Well, you never do nothing for me, boy. Think of yourself, and I say, I understand. I understand. You know, what I'm going to do? Battle with him at a point in time. You say, I understand. You listen to him, let him talk, and then you try to reason.
Right.
And he cool long like that. He boil long as they say like Baji.
Yeah.
He bubbled down to pot scraping. He was calm after.
Wow.
And actually, I got that particular, thank goodness, experience through being a customer service rep. So during my time in media, there was a point in time I worked for 3 years as a customer service rep. Much love to the B-Mobile TSTT family.
Yeah.
I was there,
Yeah.
you know, dealing with the public every single day. And I learned that particular skill there because it was a time where, you know, at the point in time, they were the only company doing telecommunications.
Yeah.
And it was the transition from TDMA to GSM. So there were some glitches in the system. And, you know, there were times people would come in very irate. I mean, we were able to sort it out, and I was able to learn the skill of calming people down when they come in very excited.
Wow. Your first stint in the parliament, in the Senate, how you found it?
So I went the Tuesday, sworn in, you know, and I sat down there and I pinched myself. I said, wait, now, I actually sit down in parliament, yes? I said, whoa.
Did you take a selfie?
Yeah, well, not a selfie. I just took some official pictures and I was taking notes. I take notes all the time. I take notes. I had a chance to talk the following week. It's been a real nice learning experience, you know. I must say the AG boy, if articulation was a person, yeah, that man he's tremendous.
Right.
Our AG, yeah.
Right. See, you'd have gotten your first chance to speak to the nation because not even though you're talking in the Senate, you're not just talking to those who were in the Senate. You're talking to the nation. How you find it?
So talking in the Senate, and it's so funny. I was telling the AG after. People were suggesting online that he wrote the speech and I'm a puppet and I am what I know about the OPVs. Listen, it's a debate, folks. You're debating, you know, crime. Senator Saddam Hussein raised the issue back in February 4th. I went on YouTube. I did my research. I listened to his whole presentation.
Right.
And that's what the debate is about. If we debate in football, and you saying that Maradona is the greatest footballer, and I'm saying Pele is better than Maradona, I have to bring points to counter my particular argument.
Right.
And that's what it was. And I basically, because he spoke about the OPV situation, saying that, you know, they always look at that, but that was a dropping of the ball. You know, he spoke about other issues that I just kind of counteracted too. And then most of my speech was actually in the vein of positivity, talking about the great work being done by the police youth groups, namely Shabadi and the folks there in St. James. They have some folks in Oropoon, all over. And where it's inactive, I want to kind of get it up and running. Because I'm also a product of the St. James Police Youth Club when I still live St. James.
Really?
Yeah, I had a little time on my hands as a teenager.
So you get a little clout and thing from Shabadi?
No clout. We used to go down there and, you know, the different little exercises and it was a good time. And, you know, I was able to utilize my time positive.
Yeah.
So I spoke about that. I spoke about, you know, I had stats in terms of all the weapons and the ammunition that was seized over the last 2 years. I showed the fact that, you know, under the government, a commissioner was appointed and the commissioner went on the ground boots and boots on working.
Right.
And we see that up to this day.
Right.
I mean, there are those who question his style and my question is rhetoric, but the fact is, this is an action commissioner.
Yeah.
All right. So I would have brought up certain points to me positive.
Yeah.
Upbeat, optimistic. Because that's how I see it, you know. The glass is half full, never half empty. There are those who try to put doom and gloom on this country like we are the worst ever. Yeah, there are problems, fundamental problems, and it affects people in a real way.
Right.
I'm not going to deny that. But let's try to work together now. And that was really my argument. But of course, there are those who only saw when I made the counteraction against Senator Hussein with the OPVs, and they didn't listen to the rest of it. And I wrote it myself. So when people said the AG wrote it for me, I felt kind of nice. I said, what? I said, my levels, because he is, I tell you, if articulation was a person, he is amazing. When I watch how that man handles the flow and his words, and he's so knowledgeable.
Yeah.
And I take a little notes, you know, I take notes. He's world class.
That's what we're talking about. Yeah. And once you can see something positive in someone and you can think of one day achieving those heights, that's what we're talking about. If you were to say to Trinidad and Tobago, here what? If you were to choose a ministry, let's just say, you know, there's some ministry that you're interested in or you think that you'll do well in, which one you'll want to do? I say culture. You can be.
Well, I mean, I'm not even thinking so far ahead. Obviously, yes, I would, to me, position myself and put my best foot forward wherever they put me. But I've always, obviously, you know, there's a passion in me for culture, a passion in me for sports.
Sports, right.
A passion in me for travel. I mean, tourism is something that I believe we have such a great product.
Right.
Especially Tobago.
Right.
And it's, I mean, I know the tourism situation right now in the world, obviously, it's going to take a little while to really get back to the full 100.
Yeah.
But I know we have so much to offer.
Yeah.
And not just for Carnival, obviously. I'm thinking across the year, across the board.
Yeah.
And in terms of even, you know, regional and domestic travel, the fact that there still are folks who've never been to Tobago.
Yep.
There still are folks who live in Trinidad who never see the Pitch Lake. How you don't do me that? You never see the lighthouse in Toko.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, I'm just, you know, you look at
in your mind, and
but
you could come up with.
But honestly, I'm not thinking so far ahead anywhere. You know, I'm thinking that first things first. There's a campaign to execute. There's an election to win. And anything could happen after that.
So the question that I asked this morning was, do you think that social media will play a active or a role in this general election 2020? What do you think?
I think it's going to play a very big part in the election of, well, the elections, general elections 2020. Based on the COVID protocols, based on what we know in terms of that invisible enemy, obviously we have done a great job, the government, the nation as a whole, in terms of following the protocols. I mean, yes, a couple of people who went beach and couldn't help themselves and, you know, want to throw a little lime and, you know, they put themselves in place. But generally, people kind of batting the crease, held back. So we're in a good place right now going forward. And I'm thinking that social media, in terms of that interaction, that engagement online, you know, that's going to play a very important role. And not only this election, I think going up the road, we are living in that particular time right now. And that's how we connect with people. Of course, mainstream media will always have its role.
Yeah.
Radio, television. But we look now at the Facebooks and the Zooms, and I did a meeting last night with the constituents from Roseman Drive on Zoom.
Wow.
Yeah, the folks, they came in and you know, Judy and Nancy and the whole team came in, and people were asking questions.
Yeah.
And we were interacting. We started around 6:15, went till about 7:30.
Wow.
So that was like almost like a town hall meeting, or how you'll do them, you know, back in the day you put the stage with the barrel and the tent.
Yeah.
People doing meetings like that now.
Wow. You know, I have to ask you this question. You are the constituents of of this constituency called Sour Barataria. And how is the relation skills, the racism, have you ever been faced with any racism? Anybody who may have said to you, hey, I don't think that, I think that because of your religion, race, have you ever, in your walkabout, have you met any opposition in that way?
Thank goodness Google no, Thank goodness no. I think people, because of my time in entertainment, and I'll never say something I'm going to put on the shelf. It's just on pause, right. That will always be part of me. It's what took care of myself, my family for 20 plus years.
Right.
Full respect for all my colleagues. I'm actually kind of putting myself as a kind of example, really, because I know that once I do well, it will give us a good look, and others could be inspired probably at some point when they're ready to step in also and make their contribution.
Are you trying that for me? Be great for the sports news and come back.
but no bad vibes on the ground, man.
Talk your talk, but we know talk. Come talk with us. The Street 919 FM.